spark. In the woods where the light don't 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 spark. From a place, dark roads, high beams, nightmares, big dreams, Nick's plot, full cream. I scream, no sound, new screams. I pray, but I'm fucked. Shit, why all the bad kids have the good luck? Why all the bad kids get the good stuff? And I'm stuck with the cold nights, stuck living like a low life, getting busy in the moonlight, in the woods like a campsite. This is nowhere, USA. It ain't safe, it ain't great. I just pray I ain't late for my destiny and my fate. In the woods where the light don't spark. 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 In the woods where the light.
Are we really loud to you, or are we good?
No, you guys are good.
All right, sounds good. All right, get this started. All right. Yo, Singers Podcast, episode 153. George, Greg, back in the building like always. Obviously, appreciate everybody who listens to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher.com, thesneakdisc.com, obviously the YouTube viewership. Appreciate everybody who supports, share, like. Obviously, whatever you listen to us on, subscribe. Subscribe and rate. Give us some stars. Give us a comment, something. We definitely appreciate it. We got a special guest in the building. We got the homie Dave Blackmon. Actually, not in the building, but on the phone. Dave, you there?
Hold on, how you get?
What's up with this phone stuff? Is this working?
Hello?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We got Dave Blackmon on the phone. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, sounds good. Real quick, I don't know if you want to give a quick bio, what you do. I know you got a man of all hats, many hats. So, if you want to give us a quick bio.
Shoot, I don't know. I just, I'm a sneaker guy like you guys. I'm really into that, and do a couple of things on the side. I have, I write and help edit for Epsilon Magazine. Also sort of launched my own t-shirt brand a few months ago, so really trying to push that right now, and collecting sneakers when the boss let me. That's pretty much it.
You where you at? You in Connecticut?
I am. I'm in Connecticut. I'm like right between Boston and New York, so it's actually a great location and a horrible location at the same time.
So, I can't hear myself anymore.
Get different headphones.
Oh, we back now. All right, we good. Sorry, man. We having some problems here. This studio don't be taking care of the equipment. Huh? There's always something. I get sick of paying these cats. That's why I like it. That's why I don't mind. That's why I'd rather do it in my house. My stuff works. So we obviously got a few things we want to talk about, and definitely at the very end of the podcast, this was Dave's idea. We're going to be doing top 10 worst sneaker collaborations, or lackluster, whatever you want to call it, to us. All right, George, you better have made a list, and your list better not be whack. I know Dave got a list.
Lists are always whack.
Yeah, you need to start making better lists. Your list, Dave. I expect to hear some good stuff on your list.
Everything on my list is trash, but that doesn't mean the list is any good.
All right.
Yeah.
So obviously we got a bunch of things that's happened to the community. I actually kind of just want to get right into it. If y'all good with that, you good with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Beyonce and Adidas.
Beyonce and Adidas.
So,
I mean, it's okay. I just, I would have liked to see her do something different, just because I know Beyonce, has a lot of cachet, and she brings a lot of energy, and she can just expand people's horizons in different ways. And so it was a little disappointing to see her go the same way that so many other, celebrities have gone in the past year or two. And, I feel like that's Adidas' wheelhouse. They just keep sort of, grabbing whatever big name they can. And, I don't knock Beyonce. She can obviously do what she wants, and, she, big talent and, great, get great cultural representation all around. So, kudos to Adidas for snagging her. It was just a little, it was okay. It wasn't like oh, that's amazing, that's really cool,
George, you got anything?
The funniest thing about it to me was the fact that Reebok and Adidas are owned by the same company, and they said the Reebok meeting had no diversity. Now, granted, the boards of the companies are probably different, and the people they have, and the actual humans at the companies are different. But you're basically working for the same company, the conglomerate. That was hilarious. Like, what do you mean? There's no Adidas is the same company as Reebok. I don't understand. Like, maybe the specific team they gave to her to create her shoe, or the team that was like recruiting her, or something like that. I hope to hear more about this story, because, and we probably can say that 90% of Beyonce fans don't know anything about sneakers, or what do you think the number is? It's got to be pretty high. They're not sneaker people for the most part. I mean,
well, I don't want to cut you off. You done?
Whatever.
So here's the thing. I don't even think this matters. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and I don't know a single woman personally. Every woman, every girl that I know.
You don't know any women?
I know they love. I don't know any that don't love Beyonce. They love Beyonce. But I don't know any women who've ever been like, I want to dress like Beyonce. Like, I don't know any women. I've never viewed Beyonce as like, man, she's fashion forward, or she dresses dope, or anything like that. Like, Beyonce is at the point of like, and I ain't even trying to make nobody mad. Like, I don't even know. But Beyonce's at the point of like, she's the queen. Like, she's the queen, of she's up there. She's like upper echelon. Like, she is, that important, like, and the thing is that I never look at Beyonce as like she's cool. Like, I look at Beyonce like, man, like, she's beyond cool. I look at Beyonce and I'm like, oh man, that's Beyonce. She's the queen. She's dope. But where's Rihanna at? Like, those are the cool people to me. Like, Beyonce's not cool enough. Like, she's out of here. She's like the Queen of England. It's like, oh yeah, man, that's crazy. That's the Queen of England. But like, man, where's Meghan Markle and the other girl? Like, I don't care about Beyonce like that, and I don't think many other people do. And the fact that she's had other brands before prior that didn't like skyrocket with her backing, or endorsement or whatever, kind of shows something. Adidas is probably gonna mess it up anyways and just give her a bunch of tracksuits and some Continentals and something. I know they said it's a signature thing, but the only way that this matters is if she does men's stuff. Like, she does men's stuff as well as women's stuff. And I don't want to sound misogynistic or anything like that, but when it comes to like sneakers and streetwear culture and stuff like that, men move the needle more. I'm sorry. Like, that's just the way it is. And the fact that if they think like she's about to do something great and push forward the women line of Adidas and stuff like that, I don't see it. Like, I kind of feel like the story already faded away. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Nobody is looking at Beyonce for that fashion movement. Like, let's see what she comes up and creates. There's no hype behind it. Everyone's talking about the hype. I don't see any hype being built behind this unless there's also going to be a men's sneaker.
It might be, yeah, but it also may not be something that's for sneakerheads. It's something that's for the masses. Stella, what's her name?
Stella McCartney.
McCartney.
No one cares about Stella McCartney either, but she still makes stuff with Adidas, so it must be selling. I mean,
I guess
Adidas's thing is bottom line numbers. They don't care. If they're making billions in the background, they don't care what up front is being done. Kanye I would assume is making them money, which is why they continue to let him put stuff out. So they don't care that he says stuff about Trump and does all the other stuff he does, which is the reverse effect of someone like Stella McCartney, who no one really has any idea who she is, but still has her lines and sells stuff that has no tie whatsoever to being a sneakerhead. But I'm sure it still sells. We don't have the numbers, obviously, and that's probably what Beyonce's thing is going to be. we don't know what Rihanna did for Puma or whatever. Yeah. At one point, Creepers and then those sandals or whatever were flying and were had aftermarket value for resellers, but that doesn't mean that the numbers were super high. It just means that it was over retail on StockX or whatever.
I don't think even regardless whether the numbers are high, whether it sells out, stuff like that,
people are gonna buy Beyonce stuff. It's Beyonce.
I don't know.
I mean,
people are gonna buy it.
Well, her name is gonna move, merchandise. She's gonna move T-shirts and, a tracksuit or whatever it is because, it's gonna be Beyonce. And just because the streetwear sneakerhead, circle isn't necessarily checking for it doesn't mean that, I think the larger public or the, her fans are gonna necessarily not be checking for it either. I think she's gonna move the needle for Adidas in some way. Whether we pay attention and care enough or not, that's a whole different story.
Air Monarch 4. Sneakerheads could care less about the Air Monarch 4. Obviously, there's like some Nike Air Monarch 4, their highest selling shoe.
Oh, I know it was a 4. Anyways,
that's what it's called, Air Monarch 4.
Oh.
So, you're making my point for me. You know nothing about the shoe, but it's Nike's biggest seller. So that's the point I'm making is if Adidas sells Beyonce stuff to, if their market base is 100 million people, they don't care what the 1 million sneakerheads are doing or whatever.
I don't even know if because somehow her brand, that Ivy Park or whatever is involved, they're going to revamp it or revive it or something like that. I don't know if Beyonce supporters or fans bought that Ivy Park stuff. I've never seen it anywhere. Like, I'm talking mall. I've never seen anybody wearing it. I don't know anything about it. Now, that might just say that I just don't run. I don't know what's happening in obviously other parts of the country, but she had Darion back in the day. I didn't think anybody cared about that when we were in high school or college or whatever that is. That brand faded away. And then the Ivy Park, I don't think anybody really supports that like that much. Now, if Adidas wants to revamp it and throw a few stripes on it and some glitter and whatever else, that is what it is. I really don't see, like you said, I don't know what the numbers is on anything, but I really don't see it being that big of a deal amongst anybody, like even women, girls, anybody. Like, I don't care I don't think if Beyonce walked out wearing some Ultra Boost or something that like all of a sudden all the women will want Ultra Boost. I don't look at Beyonce.
What my point is they don't need her to do that.
Well, what's the point of it then?
That's not her lane. That's not her lane.
Exactly. To make money for the company, not to make sneakerheads care about it.
Well, no. I mean, the whole point is to make is that to matter amongst everybody, not just sneakerheads. Of course,
it's not. That's the point. The point is to make money.
Yes, the point obviously is always to make money. I don't see it being. I don't know if her supporters support Ivy Park brand as alone by itself right now.
I've never even heard of it, so I have no idea.
You never even heard of it, so that's the whole thing that she's bringing over to Adidas. It's like they're gonna revive that and revamp it.
But I don't pay attention to anything Beyonce. I mean, I'm just being honest with you.
Right. I mean, I don't personally think that it matters whatsoever. I don't look at Beyonce for fashion sense. I don't look at Beyonce for something dope that she's wearing. I don't look at it that way. And I don't know if anybody else really is. Like, she's obviously at the top of her game as far as music and everything else. But Beyonce isn't cool to me. Like, Beyonce is just like, music royalty. But I don't view her as cool. Now, if you guys feel that all of her music fans are going to come over to Adidas and buy up T-shirts and sweatsuits, I guess. I don't know if they bought Ivy Park. I don't know if they bought any of the other stuff that she sells. Maybe concert merch or something like that. But Beyonce to Adidas, I still look at Adidas like, man, they are really in a downward spiral. Like, I look at Adidas as like, man, they're out there reaching now. Like, to me, I would have expected to see Beyonce designing something like more in like a Target or somewhere, like a big Target push. Like, I would have expected something like that before this. This to me is just like a shot in the dark, see what happens. Adidas obviously probably threw her the major bag for her to even do this. I just see it fading away. I don't see any value in it. I don't see any, but I don't know. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So, and the whole thing about Reebok, say what?
No, I was going to say that so the interesting thing to me was the Reebok portion. I kind of like you. It didn't register. It didn't matter to me until the whole Reebok thing surfaced, and that was kind of disappointing to me, just in the sense of like, Beyonce's supposed to be this person that can bring people together and bridge the cultural divide and all of this stuff, and I was like, this is a missed opportunity if she walked out of a Reebok meeting, because there wasn't, enough cultural representation that she could connect with, and I was like, really, you just give up on them? You could have just used that as an opportunity to say, hey, listen, here's what we need, here's what you guys need, and actually have a serious impact on Reebok. And I kind of don't, and I'm kind of questioning it too, just because Reebok has teamed up with Pyre Moss in the past year, and they're super like this super woke brand, and it just seems very suspect to me that Reebok would have this super woke brand that just designed Kaepernick's collection, and has done all this stuff with Parkland survivors and things like that, and then Beyonce gets there and there's no diversity for her. It just seems very suspect to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe the story, to be honest with you. I just don't, because like you said, that was my first initial thought, was if you walked into a room or whatever the setting was or whatever the case may be, of where you saw and said that there's nobody in that looks like you or no diversity, to me that's like where you say, okay, you want me here, I want to bring on some other people, some more diversity, some more women, whatever the case may be. That whole thing, like, yeah. I mean, and this is how the media and what we're seeing on social media portrays it. It makes it sound like Beyonce was in the room and was like, no one looks like me, I'm out. Like, no, there has to be a conversation for that. Like, if you're being brought into a situation where, if this is true or not, I don't believe the story or not, I just don't. If you were brought into a situation and you notice there's something that's lacking in a company and you could provide that change, you make that change. You say, you know what? If we're going to move on forward from here, I need more African Americans in here. I need more women in here. I need more Hispanics in here, whatever the case may be. Walking out and then going, I mean, just like you said, it's the same company, to Adidas is not anything of the sort. Like, that means nothing to me. And obviously Adidas is major entertainment push now. I mean, you got Pharrell, Kanye, Beyonce. I don't even know where else you go from this, but I look at it as a missed opportunity for Adidas again. I'm sorry. There's other people that I feel deserves the opportunity, or somebody that could take Adidas to a more creative level. I don't look at Beyonce in that aspect, and it's not to say that she's not. I think the world of Beyonce. From the outside looking in, Beyonce is the epitome and everything of what we like. As seems as a woman, as a great person, as a mother. She seems like everything that we all love, and I don't know any women who don't love her. But like I said, no one is going to Beyonce for her fashion sense and her design skills or anything like that. I'm sorry. Like, I honestly think that they should have looked at a different avenue. Like, I think they're just like, oh, we gotta hit a home run right now. We gotta see where this is going. And the news is already gone. It's already passed to me. So, I don't know if you have anything more on that. Dave?
No, I don't. I mean, we don't know what the price point is and just entry. It like you said, it could end up in Walmart or Target. You know what I mean? And be just something for the masses. And people go, oh, hey, Beyonce, oh, she got a T-shirt, and end up buying it. But I honestly I agree with I agree with you guys about how it's not. It's not going to move the needle for sneakerheads. It's not going to, affect streetwear at all. It's just another name that Adidas can add to their roster.
Well, we'll see what happens. If she's not doing anything on the men's side as well, I don't see it being that big of a movement. It's just another something. So I honestly think there needs to be something like a men's name, clothing, sweatsuit, jumpsuit, sneaker, something. It has to be. Like, I'm sorry. I think the main thing that a lot of these companies need to focus on, which we talked about before with another guest, was that a lot of women and stuff, they want to be able to have the exact same materials and the exact same stuff that are provided to men when it comes to sneakers. This is strictly speaking sneakers. They want the same box, they want the same laces, the same materials, the same amount of air bubbles. They want all that stuff. Sneaker companies, to me, aren't improving in that aspect. I don't even know how good Jordan Brand and all that stuff is doing with like this exclusive women's Jordans and stuff that comes out. They really pushing that, and I don't know if anybody's buying that stuff. Like, I don't know if it's just to make sure that they're in that realm and providing something that could be bought, or is it actually being...
The women who buy Beyonce stuff are not going to be those are two different target markets.
You're probably right.
Jordan whatever is targeted at a completely different audience than Beyonce's whatever is going to be targeted at. I can guarantee you that.
You're probably right.
The people that buy Jordans are not buying Stella McCartney workout clothes and bags and Ultra Boost.
They better be selling Beyonce Adidas clothes and stuff inside the concert then, like as tour merch. And
we have no idea. We have no idea if it's going to sell or not. I don't know what Stella McCartney's numbers are, but she's been with Adidas for the last 8 years or whatever at least. Yeah. So
I don't know anybody who buys them. So
yeah, but that's again, it's not for us.
All right. One thing that you had talked about, Dave, and this was what I wanted to touch on too. I sent it to you, Dave. You had sent a DM talking about how you feel that people that buy sneakers shouldn't be called sneakerheads.
I don't know if I mean that, people that buy sneakers shouldn't be called sneakers. It's just,
I'll tell you this, Dave, on your Instagram and stuff, you can tell like these periods of time that you're really going in on some stuff sometimes. And then most of the time you're a laid back cat, but then sometimes you'll send some DMs and you going in, or some like IG stories. And a lot of times I'll be wondering where you going with this. And that's what I was wondering, where you was going with this when you sent that DM.
So I've been really conflicted. Just I think people, right now, people keep talking about like the culture and the community and all of this stuff. And I feel like there's a real split. Like, there are people that buy, and they buy based off resale price, and they base everything off of, what's the newest thing every week. And I feel like there's this huge divide between, people that are doing that and then people that are, like really going out there and just like looking and trying to survey the whole landscape and seeing, what's available that they like, and then buying based on that. And I feel like, if you're buying, for a sneaker that's going to be an investment, either to flip quickly or to hold on to, I feel like we're in different lanes, right? And so, while your appreciation for sneakers might have started as, hey, I buy, what I like, you buying now based on the market or based on, some larger aspect. And this isn't like throwing shots at anybody or anything, but just we're in two different lanes, right? And so are you really like a sneaker enthusiast? Like, if you're not buying things that you wouldn't personally wear, or you're not buying things that you would appreciate in a bubble, in a vacuum, where there's no one else that's going to see you, there's no one else that's going to know what you have, and you have the opportunity to purchase a sneaker, are you purchasing that sneaker for you, or are you purchasing it for something else? And so I feel like there's this real divergence. And for me personally, I'm a father, I have a finite amount of money to spend, every month. And so, when I buy something, it has to mean something to me. And, I've heard other people sort of touch on this and just talk about, like, when you're buying a shoe, how the market is turning back towards, things having like this intrinsic value where, the shoe matters to you no matter what. And so, you know, in the past years, I've kind of like pursued things that I thought were cool, but now I'm sort of at the point where it's just like, hey, I just want to buy things that I appreciate, that I like, that I'm going to wear, and that, you know, are going to mean something to me regardless of everyone else, or regardless of, you know, where I go. And, you know, I want to put something on my foot that's going to speak to me and speak, you know, and tell a great story, you know. And so, you know, and I think there's different levels of that, but I feel like there's a big divergence, you know, in the community. And I think we need to acknowledge it. And so that was my question, just basically, you know, are you a sneakerhead if, you know, if that's how you know, pursue sneakers, you know, on a weekly basis or a monthly basis.
Is your issue with the term itself for the most part, or is it just that
I have no issue with the term itself at all. I know some people don't like it. I could care less, honestly.
Gotcha.
I just, you know, I feel like, you know, if you're an enthusiast, you know, you have to have a passion for something, you know, beyond just monetary value. And so so that was my thing, is like, you know, can we, you know, I see, you know, a lot of the people that I interact with, that I deal with, that's what they pursue sneakers based on monetary value. And if that's the way you pursue sneakers, are you, you know, can we call you a sneakerhead?
I don't even know. I mean, you said, you know, you buy stuff that means something to you. Like, does sneakers really mean something, like, to anybody? Like, I don't know. Every single day, you know, it was weird. Like, there was like this period, like, I'm going through like IG, and it seems like a lot of people that, like, they say like, oh, these mean so much to me for this and that, and I just don't understand why. Like, I seen somebody like post a pair of sneakers they were wearing, and they were like, yo, I was wearing this when my grandmother died. Why on earth would you want a sneaker or something? Like, why would you keep that? Like, if I was wearing something that reminded me of something like that, it would never be allowed in my house. Like, nobody could wear that in my house. But people talk about that. One thing I've noticed about your collection is you definitely stayed true to a lot of New Balance and Asics. Is that just your still go-to, or because a lot of people faded away from them?
So, I mean, growing up, you know, I was really, really poor growing up, and so I didn't get an opportunity to buy sneakers. You know, I'd get like 1 or 2 pairs a year, and you know, I'd get a limit, and so, you know, I'd always get runners because runners were always cheap and inexpensive, you know, and so, you know, it was easier to talk my mom into buying those for me than it was to try to get like Jordans or anything. And so I've always had like an affinity for just running silhouettes, right? And so, you know, I remember when the Silver Bullet came out, like, it was one of the most expensive like running shoes ever when it first debuted, and there was no way I was getting it. And so, you know, I've always just gravitated towards just that shape because I thought it was amazing. And so, when I got back into sneakers, you know, back in the mid to late 2000s, I had my own money, and, you know, I wanted to get Jordans, and I managed to pick up like 1 or 2 pairs here and there, but, you know, it was really hard to. And then I found that there was this whole, like, you know, following for like Asics, and I remembered having Asics when I was younger. I remember having, you know, like the OG, you know, gel lights and things. And, you know, it was like, people really like this stuff. Like, I like this stuff, or I like this stuff. And so, you know, I ended up just falling right back into it. And so, you know, I discovered collabs and, you know, just started, you know, buying as many as I could. And, you know, for me, like, you know, I know you said, you know, people don't really have like a special appreciation for sneakers, and like certain ones don't really mean that much to you. But, you know, for me, I guess, you know, I work in an art school, and so, people always look at my feet, and people are always like interested because they know that I have interesting shoes. And so, for me, it's when I wear something, I want it to be interesting. I don't want it to be something very generic or something that, everybody went out and bought that weekend. So, I wear something like Concepts, the Lake Havasu. I wear that. And so it has a great story behind it, and I'm able to relate that to coworkers, and they're like, that's so cool. Like, and to have that level of like knowledge and just having a shoe that, means something and isn't just like, oh, it just looks cool. I think people really appreciate that and know that, I'm really, really into it. So, New Balance and Asics have really sort of done that with their collaborations. I think Reebok has to an extent. I think Saucony this year is really gonna step it up, it looks like. And so, I just sort of gravitated back to those brands just because, they're not telling the same story all over again, and it's not like the same pair, just, with no imagination behind it, and the same 5 guys sitting in a room trying to come up with this new Jordan story that no one heard before, so we can, resell the shoe again. So that's sort of why I'm still with the New Balance Asics.
I will say, like you said, I will say that the story behind the collaborations when it comes to Asics or, even Sauconys, I think Sauconys are awful. Like, there's some really old Sauconys I loved, like, growing up. But, like, some of these these models now, I don't care for any of them. There was, like, a feature collaboration, I think, that George had talked about. It was, like, black and orange. I don't remember what model that was. It was, like, a gambling theme, I think. I don't remember. But, when it comes to like New Balance, obviously when we talk to Dion, some of the stories behind, the reasoning behind Asics and the New Balances and stuff, those are great stories. A lot of the stuff that Jordan Brand does, it is a lot of reaching. They've had one that represents the street that Jordan grew up on, the cover of a Sports Illustrated magazine, the suit he wore for his rookie speech. Like, it is a lot of nonsense. When I think back to Asics and New Balances, because this weekend alone, I think I bought 2 New Balances. I bought 2 New Balances and I bought a pair of Asics this past weekend. And I feel like I'm getting back into that, wanting those more because they are such high quality. I don't like paying full price for a pair of New Balances because some of those will reach like the $250 range. And they're definitely well worth it, for the craftsmanship and, the quality that you're receiving. But I'm definitely getting back into that. That period of time where like we were buying Asics and New Balances every single weekend, that was all we were copping. I felt like that was the period where we like sort of like indirectly like started kind of growing up a bit. Like, but we were like, oh, we only rock this. I remember George and I were we were living on Kith and Asics and New Balances, copping all the releases and stuff like that. And that has definitely far passed. I don't even remember the last time you bought a New Balance, George, or ASIC or anything.
Never in my life.
So, like, when I think back to that, I'm like, I appreciate that period, and I'm getting back into it. Like you said, I'm growing up a little bit more. I can buy all the Air Maxes I want.
Once New Balances started being $240, I just, out of spite, decided I'm never buying New Balances ever again.
Yeah, but you pay that much still for Nikes and stuff.
No, I don't. When was the last time I paid $240 for a shoe?
Well, you're trying to buy a clout for like $500.
Okay, I didn't buy that.
You're trying now? You still trying?
No.
Okay.
No. I
did. So I did my first NB1 like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, what?
And the NB1 for a New Balance.
What is that?
You can go on and design your own 997.
Okay.
And so I went on and I did it, and it was, it's between 220 and 230, I believe, for, if you get a perforated suede, toe box, it's 230. If you get the mesh toe box, it's 220. So you save yourself $10. But the turnaround time and the quality of a New Balance at like 230 versus the quality of like a Jordan at 200 or like an Air Max, those the Air Max that that collaboration with the designers just released. They did the sneakers release or whatever
Right.
today. You know, a few people got them, but like those are $200. You know what I mean? And so the quality difference is just night and day. You know, I get a full suede shoe. It's made in America. You know, it's just amazing. It's just amazing for what you get. And so, and then no one else is going to be wearing it. So to me, I think it's worth it. It's totally worth it. I wouldn't say do it every week, but I would say, you know, to try it. Like, and it's not like $1,000 bespoke Air Max 1, you know, so I think it's reasonable. And I mean, I've really gravitated towards New Balance in the last couple of months just because, you know, their made in America quality is just top notch. And, you know, I think the comfort is very underrated. And then, you know, you just support, like I'm very close to Boston. So, you know, supporting workers that are very close to somewhere, you know, where I live, you know, is sort of important to me. And so, you know, being able to do that with my purchase, you know, it means a little something.
I don't even know. See, to me, that's the point that you just made right there, where you said that nobody else will wear it. That matters too much to sneakerheads. Like, I don't care what any sneakerhead says. I made that point on here plenty of times. Sneakerheads will always gravitate towards what they think that somebody will be able to recognize. Like, it's just natural thing to it. If given the option to buy the highest quality of this versus one of the most popular, least or less quality Air Maxes, they will always go for the Air Max, like every single time. And it's just a natural thing that sneakerheads do, and they can't get out of it. It's a natural addiction to attention. Like, you could post the most fire New Balance you want online and get a certain amount of pics, and that's not enough for sneakerheads. But you post a Atmos Elephant or something of some trash garbage. You know how many people got those Air Maxes today? Them Gottoms. Which ones is it? The 97s?
Well,
all
everything.
of them?
Whichever one
Everything?
you voted for, yeah.
And release all of them, whatever one you voted for.
Like,
they release.
And I'm gonna give you a heads up to both of you. That entire pack is on my top 10 wackest or lackluster collaborations of all time.
I get it.
Like, they all suck. Like,
No, they don't.
No,
I mean, I get it.
No,
but
no,
no,
They
they
don't
don't.
want
Oh no. Every single one.
Why
sucks.
someone voted for the like Maze Air Max 1? Like, I saw people that had the got 'em on those. Why did you vote for that?
And see, I didn't vote at all. Like, I refused to vote. Like, because now it seems like
Hold
a
on a
lot of people
second.
got them. Yeah.
So let me go back, just backtrack a little bit. So even at, and I realize that every New Balance is not 240, but every single collab that's coming out these days is around 240, 230, whatever. The materials are fantastic, but there is a gigantic difference between, in my opinion, between 240 or whatever the number is and 180. Now, you said earlier that the Nike pack that came out today was 200 is overpriced, and it's way overpriced. They probably should have been 160, 170 max. And I got the sole pair because I want to see what it looks like before I decide if I'm keeping it or not. I got access on the black with the neon and the bigger swoosh than normal on the 97. And I've been talking about that one on this show forever. So we'll see if the materials are, half decent when it gets to me. If it's like some kind of glossy, not even leather, I don't know what you would call it, glossy pleather or synthetic or whatever, it's probably going to get sold on StockX or go back. If it looks half decent, I'm probably going to keep it. But I mean, even at those prices, like at 180 versus 240 or 250 or 230 or whatever, that's $50 to $60. So that's a significant. Like, some people don't always think about that. They think like, oh, that's not that big of a difference. Well, if you buy three $180 shoes and you buy three $240 shoes or $230 or whatever, guess what? You can buy a fourth shoe for the same. Like, you have enough money left over if you're buying three $180 shoes to buy a fourth shoe for the same price as four $240 shoes. So that's my biggest issue with. And I 100% agree that New Balance is very comfortable. No one talks about anymore New Balance's comfort. And they probably, for the long time, were the most comfortable shoe, at least that isn't like, you know, an orthotic walking shoe or whatever. You know, something that's like some that you can make look nice with a regular outfit or whatever. But once Boost came out, and then what's Nike's shit?
720s?
No.
Oh, Vapor Max? React?
No, React. And then once React, and then that other tech came out. Those things, in my opinion, have taken over comfort from New Balance. Now, the materials certainly are not as nice. I don't know when the last time I bought a Jordan was. Probably the Jordan 4 white cement. When did that come out? 2016?
I don't know. Something like that.
16 or 17? So it's been at least 2, maybe 3 years since I bought a Jordan to keep, at least. I've bought a lot of Jordans and resold them. I'll be 100% honest about that. But that's the last Jordan that I believe I bought to keep. Now, if they start releasing some more Jordan 1 lows with the OG mold cut, I will definitely buy more of those. I ended up getting a pair of the one that comes out in the new pack of the 4 lows for the SB pack or whatever. I told Greg I got the black toe one. It's like the fat one. Yeah, the fat one low mold, which is to me is trash. But the shoe is not bad. The materials are actually half decent. I may buy that one. They didn't have my size when I bought it, so I may buy that one if I come across it in my size. The other colorways are terrible. But as far as Jordans go, I don't care. So, like, I guess that's my argument is I'm not really buying all that much stuff to begin with, so I'm not going to go look for a New Balance in spite of all those other ones right now because I really am not buying all those other ones. The one I sent Greg the other day, or maybe it was earlier today, it's not even a collab shoe, but whatever that like light blue and pink and white New Balance is that just came out, maybe it's a $997.5 or...
I don't know. You sent that today?
Bodega pair?
I didn't think it was a collab shoe, but I thought I sent it today or...
You didn't send me a pair. Because the ones I bought this week, I bought the something sport. But they were only $89. Like, it's like a sport version with the thick sole on it.
I don't know the price on the one.
997H. You bought a 997H.
That's what I bought?
This
you
is
bought a 997H. They're like $90.
Yeah, I got one of those.
This is dope.
That's
this
fire.
shoe is dope, but I'm just assuming it's at least $160 or $180 or whatever, and I don't want to pay that. I would buy this shoe if it went on sale. I know you can't see it right now, but it's a $15.30. Has a pink like the front of the toe box. Yeah, and then it has little gray hits and then a blue hit on the back, and it's mainly white. That shoe's really clean to me, and I guess my thing in general is I really don't like paying retail to begin with unless it's something that has aftermarket value that if I don't like it, I can just sell it. So for something like that, I would want it at least like 40% off. You know what I mean? And if I could get it 40% off, I definitely would buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we shop anyways now. I only shop.
Right, but we know we're not getting, for the most part, we know we're not getting like Hype Air Max 1 40% off. You either get it at retail, or if you really want it, you got to pay aftermarket.
See, I just don't, I love to talk about, I love to appreciate dope materials on sneakers. I like to appreciate it, but they don't matter to me whether or not I want to buy it or not. If I bought an Elephant Atmos print, that's the one you want, right? Elephant Atmos print?
Yeah, of course.
If that joint could be the trash material ever, I'd still cop it. Like, it could be the trashiest.
Yeah, for retail. I mean, I don't know if...
I
think they used half-decent materials on that last one that came out. Because when you wear them, like, those joints creased instantly. And a shoe's not going to crease unless the materials are fairly nice or, like, it's designed the way the Jordan 1 is designed.
See, Jordans are the only sneakers that I will not buy if the materials are trash. Like... I just
That's
won't.
not true.
No.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No,
you said you want those Jordan 1 lows.
I love Jordan 1.
The Jordan 1 lows that just came out right now?
Yeah, you said you bought the yellow one already.
That yellow one, that might be some of the most soft suede ever. That entire shoe is suede.
Relax. Okay.
I'm not even joking. Like, it's like
I have the black one. It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Isn't the white leather?
What?
Is the white leather on the black toe one?
Yeah.
Like, no, leather or like suede.
Yes, no, it's leather.
Oh, the entire shoe on the yellow is suede. Everything is suede. There's no leather on it. I was like, yo, this joint is crazy.
See it in person.
No, you gotta see. I meant to bring it today. Like, that joint is crazy. All right. Now, it is a little bit bulkier than any other Jordan 1s. But like I said, a Jordan 1 is a sneaker that I can commit to not buying if the materials are trash. Unless it's an OG. If the materials are trash on the Jordan 4 OG, I'm still gonna buy it. I've never owned a Jordan 4 OG, a black cement. I don't think I've ever owned a black cement Jordan. So I'm gonna buy that one. The 6s that just came out, the materials are awful on those.
All right, yeah. So the black one's different. The toe box on the black one is
leather,
like nubuck. No.
Oh,
it's nubuck. It's not the same suede as the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the yellow one's way different.
I didn't realize it was like that thicker suede or whatever.
But like I was saying, I'm gonna buy the OG Black Cement 4 just because I've never owned a Black Cement 4 ever, and I feel like, well, if I'm gonna own one, I might as well own one that's close enough to the OG. So on a New Balance and stuff like that, I will always I bought Wasabi's ones. I got those for a great price off GOAT. So I was like, well, I'm gonna get these, and I probably won't wear them as much as I should. But I'm sorry, Gel Light 3 Asics and Gel Light 5 Asics are madly disrespected as far as when we decided to move on and just throw our full backing in the Air Maxes like we lost our minds. Now Air Max.
But that's not even our fault, though, because we know that ASICS backed up off. They haven't released the Gel Light 5 in over a year, right? And they also, sort of slowed down on the Gel Light 3. So it wasn't completely, the enthusiast's fault. It was, and then they didn't even celebrate the Gel Light 5 anniversary, right? So, it's not necessarily just, that we backed up off it. It's that, ASICS basically dropped the ball and Nike saw the opening and sort of jumped in there with Air Max 1s. And I think people just kind of were like, oh, Atmos, yes,
oh, yeah,
I got to get in there. And I'm actually kind of ashamed to say it, even though the materials aren't that great. I actually don't even own any Atmos Air Max collaborations. I don't know. There's something about them, and that I can never pull the trigger.
Same thing with me. I mean, for me, it's not even pulling the trigger. I've never been successfully been able to buy one. Some people consider the Curry Atmos collab, and maybe what they were originally involved with Atmos or in the design or something. Who knows? I have the Curry. I don't have the Elephant. I don't have the Animal. I don't have any of those. And I definitely want the Elephant, but I'm not paying $600 or $700 or whatever it would take to get a size 12.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like ASICS and them backed up a lot off of it because we abandoned it. Like, there was a lot of Gel Light 5s that came out that we just...
The only reason we started buying them in the first place is because of collabs. Collabs started everything. So once the collabs stopped, I'll be the first to admit, really the only thing I look at these days is Nike stuff. And every once in a while I'll look at like an Adidas shoe. But unless, like that New Balance I just was talking about, the 1530, that one came across, and because they color blocked it really well, that one caught my eye. But other than that, and it might sound bad to say it, but honestly, the only thing I look at anymore is Nike and Adidas. I mean, and Adidas rarely.
Yeah, but I don't even understand why you jumped off the ASIC Gel Light 5. You probably had more than me.
They're bulky now. I mean, I wore that shoe the other day, and it's bulky. It really is.
I mean, it's a little wider now, but I think that has to do with how we used to wear them. We used to always wear them joints unlaced. We never tied them joints up now.
I put it on.
You tie them up now, it's better. We need to... A lot of the sneakers that we got right now, how we used to rock them back in the day, if we rock them actually correctly and tie them up, you can wear them again. Jordans,
you can't.
I've been putting on Jordans just to try them on. If you tie them up and all the way, lace them, tie a bow at the top, they're actually...
You can't even tie a bow with rope laces on those Gel Light 5s.
Yeah,
the top lace, no, you can't. I'm dead serious. I tried to put it on, lace the lace to the top, and tie...
I've tied a bow. You got to pull them tighter.
So you
Game
might
time.
have a different rope lace, but whatever rope lace I have, it doesn't work, at least on the 8-ball pair.
Oh, well, I don't know what to tell you, fam. I'm trying to think what else was... Oh, I wanted to go back real quick on that. I meant to ask you, Dave, or you, George, obviously, do you guys foresee an issue with Beyonce and Kanye both being on Adidas? With Kanye?
In terms of what?
I don't know. He's a crazy person. I just mean in general.
No, he's just crazy. I mean, that's already known.
Oh, because is she creative director? Like, I feel like they said she's like creative director or something. And isn't he trying to be of Adidas or wants to be, and they won't let him?
Oh, you mean Kanye wants complete control over Adidas creative department or something?
He wants something
I have
like
no
that.
Idea. Of course he does. Probably wants to be president of the United States too.
He does.
And you don't buy Yeezys, right, Dave?
No.
Okay.
I can't do it.
Yeah, Adidas. See, well, I just sold my Sesames. Prices were going up. I decided it was time to get rid of it. But the one reason that I've held on to the ones that I like is because of the comfort of the shoe and the fact that it's like almost universal in terms of what you can wear it with. Now, maybe not universal in terms of like you can wear it with shorts, but universal in terms of you can wear it with just about any pair of pants you have or joggers or whatever, and it does not look off. So
you can argue a Gel Light 5 is pretty close to a V2
in terms of what?
in shape and stuff.
No, you can't. It's nowhere close in comfort. It's nowhere close in any of that stuff.
I didn't say comfort, but it's about as bulky.
I think it's comfortable.
Say what?
Me personally, I think the Gel Light 5 is more comfortable.
Oh yeah, you smoking.
I guess it depends on your foot shape or whatever too. I have a wide foot, so like the how the 350 kind of spreads out in the toe box really works for me. I don't know.
Oh, I'm trying to think what else we had to talk about.
You made a list. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it'd be a perfect transition into the 10-year.
Oh yeah,
Yeezy.
the Yeezy. So somebody has sent this to us as a question, but then I noticed that it was like all over social media and on like a few sneaker blogs and stuff about the Yeezy 1, it being the 10-year anniversary of that release. And somebody who listens to the podcast asked us our thoughts on that. I don't know if you have any first, Dave or George.
I'm gonna have to hear the question again. I'm gonna let Dave go first.
Basically, what are your thoughts now thinking back to the Yeezy 1? 10 years later.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Nike. I thought you were just talking about
No.
Adidas
Nike
is coming out with some 10-year shoe or something.
No. He hasn't been there that long.
I didn't start back buying shoes again until late 2010. So when the Yeezy came out in 2009, I really had no idea. I mean, obviously I knew Kanye was, but
Right.
that was the last thing I was thinking about was buying shoes. I was buying SBs at that point, but I wasn't like fully immersed back in like, oh, this release this weekend. Like I didn't so I probably stopped buying shoes 2001 or 2 and didn't start back again until 2010. And the Flint 13s is what, I don't even know why the hell I did it, but for some reason Hannah wanted to go to the mall Black Friday at midnight, and they had Flint 13s at Finish Line, and the dude was like, I saw all the people running the mall, and this was back when it was still first come first serve. So I just, because I remember what Flint 13s was, obviously being a shoe collector growing up or whatever, and I'm a Jordan fan, so I was like, oh, did you guys sell out? He's like, yeah, but I got my pair in the back if you want that. He's like, $285. I just looked at him like, because I didn't remember from that era there being a resale market. You know what I mean? Like, I remember if you went in line and you got more than one, you would sell one to a friend or whatever, but it wasn't like pay $180 or pay $160 and sell for $300. There was nothing like that in the era that I was in prior. So when he said that, I just started laughing and I was like, no, I'm good, man. And I went home and literally got 2 pairs that night online on Finish Line's website with a discount code. One was like 20% off, and then I found another discount code that was 30% off, something like that. So I got 2 Flint 13s Black Friday 2010 under retail, and that's what for some reason just sent me back into like the shoe loop. And then the next one I got after that was when Cool Gray 11s came out, and Nike Scottsdale had just opened.
Oh, that's right.
The beginning of 2010 or whatever. So we went for that release, and I was like near the back of the line, and somehow Hannah and I both got a pair of Cool Gray 11s, and the resale market was like not very good on them at all. I mean, I think I made like $30 or something on each one. Now, if you wait a little bit longer, you make more money, but so it was not worth it. But that's what got me back into it. And I don't even remember what the heck we were talking about.
Yeezy 1.
Oh, I was like, why did I go on that rant? The Yeezy 1. So I missed the whole first 2 years of the Yeezy thing. And someone had a pair on in that line, if I remember correctly, and was talking about he got it by trading for something. And I was like, at the time, I was like, bro, that's literally the ugliest shoe I've ever seen in my entire life. It's your entire leg. Like, he's shorter than me. So I'm like, that shoe is your entire leg. What do you... That's a combat boot. And, you know, he was proud of the fact that he traded for it or whatever. But so in terms of it being a 10-year, it's impressive that Kanye has been around that long making not only sneakers, but fashion, whatever. Do I think that shoe matters in, like, sneaker history or something? No. To me, no, it doesn't.
It does.
To me, it does not.
It does not in the... I mean, I don't know, Dave, you wanted to say something first or anything.
No, I mean, I'm with George. I wasn't really back into sneakers then, and I mean it's a cool shoe. I think the Yeezy 1 is a cool shoe. I'm not going out of my way go chase one down. I don't know, aesthetically, I'm not huge on it, but I definitely understand it's important, and I think it's a worthwhile shoe for certain people, but no big deal to me.
What's funny is that shoe to me seems like it was like, when was Saved by the Bell out? Like in the early 90s? Remember Zach Morris and them? Just remember that era when like everything was a high top and it was Converse, like your entire
weapons,
leg.
Stuff like that, yeah.
So to me, it was almost like Kanye was trying to go back to like an era like that. Where
was.
So it was, but it was not fashionable when he brought it back. Now, maybe you could say he was like an innovator or something by trying to bring that stuff back. But when I saw that, I was like, bro, that's not in style right now. Like when I saw the guy wearing it in line, that's why I said, like, that's the worst shoe I've ever seen in my entire life. That is not in style. What are you doing?
So when they came out, I didn't know they were coming out until the actual day they were coming out. And that was based on because I had we were at the mall or something, and everybody was talking about, because we only had one store that got them, and that was High Point. That was the only store that I know of locally in Arizona that got them. I don't know if anything else, I can't even remember what was around at that time back then. Now, I look at the Yeezy one now, today, when I look at it back then, I do feel that was the period of time where our clothes were starting to make that shift in the fitting a lot differently. I didn't look at the shoe back then and thought, and this is a boot. I never thought that back then. When I look at it now, and me and you talked about this before plenty of times, Joe, we talked about sneakers aging. The Yeezy 1 and the Yeezy 2 have not aged well, period. You look at a Yeezy 1 and a Yeezy 2 right now, they're whack. Like, you look at it, and even back then,
you're talking about Nikes.
Yeah, Nikes. Yeah. Yeezy 1, Yeezy 2 Nikes. I think even back when me and you went all the way to California and got that platinum one, essentially looking at that shoe and looking at the pictures, that old pictures of it, it's a whack shoe. Now, back then, you couldn't see it because...
I don't think the 2 is terrible.
The 2 is a whack shoe now.
I don't think it's terrible.
No, it's whack now.
I think that's too strong.
No, you really got to go back and look at it. You look at the materials and everything, and you're like, yo, the toe box is like neoprene, nylon something. That joint looks trash as they get older. Now, the way we equated a Yeezy 2 as being dope, as it had the AirTech Challenge 2 bottom. It had like these little, but you go back, I'm done right now, I'm on GOAT. I'm like, let me look at a Yeezy 2. Yeezy 2 is, you can buy one or sell one for like $3,000. It is not an attractive shoe anymore. They didn't age well whatsoever. I honestly feel if a Yeezy 1 released now, people would go get it because it's a Yeezy 1 like that, but it has to have Yeezy insignia on it. If it doesn't have the Yeezy up the back, if it doesn't have anything that recognizes this as being a Yeezy, nobody would care for it whatsoever. The shoe now is awful. Everybody's jeans would go inside the shoe, and it almost did back then, but for some reason, people found a way to wear them. Now, the Yeezy
with the Yeezy 1, you have to put your jeans inside the shoe. I don't understand how else you can.
Almost the Yeezy 2.
I don't think it's as bad.
It's not as bad, but it's almost as bad. Now, the importance of a Yeezy 1 to me is based off, a rapper, entertainer, developing a sneaker that reached over resale of $1,000. That's cool. But the most iconic part of the Yeezy 1 is the colorways. Those colorways are forever cemented as Yeezy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're Yeezy. So that's the most important aspect of when you think back of a Yeezy 1. Like, you can't put, what is that pink called? Solar Red? Whatever that is. You can't put that pink. You can't add a black, pink, a glowish looking color green to it. You can't add that to anything without it being called the Yeezy Air Max. We've had Yeezy Air Max 1s. We've had Yeezy Foam Posits. We've had Yeezy Roche Runs. Like, you add that colorway to anything, it's forever called the Yeezy. Red October. You put all red on anything, it's a Red October. It's forever. It's just the way it is. That's the most iconic part of the Yeezy 1. The shoe itself is trash now. It's not even questionable. It's not even wearable. And it should just literally just be in a museum somewhere. Now, what's crazy about the Yeezy 1, Yeezy 2, I don't think that there's no more pairs out there. Like, there's a few people that still got some DS pairs here and there, but they're extinct. Like, and when did the last time you've seen anybody wear a Yeezy 1 or a Yeezy 2? I couldn't even tell you the last time I've seen anybody for Instagram or just out wearing them.
Oh, on social media, I've seen them wear 2s often.
Really?
You're talking about in person. No.
Not even social media. I don't ever see it.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a pair of Yeezy 2s on social media in at least the last week.
Oh, see, I haven't. Everything on social media now is literally Air Max and whatever latest Jordan came out that past weekend. Like Adidas used to flood social media and stuff like that. Don't see any of that anymore. I see more Clays and V2s and stuff like that than I do anything else. It seems like as of lately. But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's iconic for the colorway. It's iconic for what it did during that period of time. I don't remember where I was sneaker wise buying. I feel like I was still buying them, but for some reason, when did we like you got back into it before I did, like fully going in on it. There was a particular moment when like I just started really, really copping again. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But either way, Arizona had only got so many pairs and it was at one store. And only people who had probably never got out of sneakers only really paid attention to that. Like I didn't know anybody who knew about it. I don't know anybody who owns a pair except I think Daniel did. He had bought a couple pair at High Point or whatever, but
he bought them for retail there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But other than that, I don't know. It's important as far as, like I said, colorways and stuff like that. They're iconic and forever considered Yeezy. But, you know, it is what it is. The shoe didn't age well. Yeezy 2s definitely didn't age well. Yeezy 2s suck now, period. They suck now. 100% fact. Okay, would you guys own a pair now? For retail?
I don't think I would have. For retail, I would buy it and then I would resell it.
No. Would you own a pair?
No, but I don't even think I would have worn it back then. You know that. I told you that. I wouldn't even have worn it then.
Well, we couldn't then. Like, I'm sorry. If you got a Yeezy 2 back then, I feel like you weren't supposed to own it. Like, it feels almost ridiculous to know that it's selling for $2,000. You're right. But there is no way with good conscience that I could put on a shoe on my foot that I paid $200 for
shoe
and selling for $1,800, $2,000. Like, that just seems crazy.
That's always how I've been, though. I mean, like when I've only worn the Witherspoons once or twice, and I saw that their size 12 was like $1,400. I said, what?
Okay.
I mean, it was like 5-6 months ago when they were $600. In that time, they've more than doubled.
See,
nuts.
The shoe, Yeezy 1s, Yeezy 2s, they're iconic. Yeezy 2 is more iconic to me than a Yeezy 1. But the thing is, to me, like what really, really makes something iconic is if I have an opportunity to buy it and no one cares about it anymore, I still want it to wear. I don't think a Yeezy 2 is that good looking to wear if it
yeah, but I
shelves.
Never. Yeah, you're right, but I never wanted to wear it ever.
Right,
like,
right.
I never had the desire.
Like not you then, but like for me back then, I think I did legitimately like the shoe a lot. I didn't.
So did I.
I didn't like the platinum ones. I liked the red ones, and I liked the black Solar Reds, whatever they were called. Those ones I did like the most. Now, if they just throw them back out. Got all the Yeezy insignia, the dust bag, the gold things, the glow in the bottom soles. It has every single thing that it was back when it dropped, and they're not reselling for $5,000 anymore. There's plenty of them. I wouldn't go buy one. I don't think I would buy one to wear. That's to me.
I wouldn't wear it.
But an Atmos elephant print or Atmos Safari or any other collaboration, something like that like way back in the day, loved and it just dropped regular, I would buy that.
I would buy animals. I would buy elephants. I would buy Clot, Vapor Max. I would any of those shoes that I have in my queue that I'm still looking at. I would buy any of those. I never had. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, but you gotta acknowledge too that what you know about Kanye West now versus what you knew about him when the Yeezy 1 or Yeezy 2 dropped is totally different. Your image of him is tainted, as is my image of him. You know, what I thought of Kanye West in 2000, 2009, you know, it was totally different. And so, you know, coming from the place where I'm at now, I don't know if I would want that shoe, just thinking about it that way. You know, just because I know I've been down the rabbit hole, I've seen too much, I've peeked behind the curtain, like I can't unsee that Kanye, and I'm not. And so that sort of like taints the shoe for me, even though, you know, it has some sort of relevance to me, you know? And
right.
so for me, like looking through that lens, you know, as who I am now, no, I don't want that shoe. But who I was in 2009 or 2010, yeah, absolutely. I probably would want that shoe.
Right.
See, that doesn't bother me. I can't even speak. That does not bother me as much because I still wear the Adidas ones that I have.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean it doesn't. his behavior in general, I don't mean it doesn't, but I don't know what's the right word. Maybe bother's not the right word. We talked about it on the show a million times. He's a clown, and like the utmost clown. So, and I refused to. I haven't even listened to the last album that came out, let alone bought the album or downloaded it.
Never.
So it definitely, in a way, affected my behavior as a consumer, but not with the shoe. And I think, like I said, it's because of earlier, it's just the comfort factor and the style factor for me. It's still now selling the Sesame, which I really liked. I sold it, and then I opened the box and I was like, that might have been a mistake. These are actually kind of dope. But then I was like, you know what? I'm not ever going to wear these. Sold. And in the past, I probably just would have kept it around just because it's a Yeezy or Comfort or whatever. So I think it may have affected me a little bit in terms of that shoe. But the ones that are much easier to wear, like I have one of the V2s from the, what was it? Not Christmas pack.
Black Friday.
What was the pack? Black Friday pack. And then I have the original Moon Rocks and the V1 Moon Rocks. And what's the other one? Pyre Black. So I have those. I think those are easier to wear than some of the stuff that's come out recently. And I'll tell you what, Greg likes the Clays and the Statics. I got both of those. I'm not going to say that the worst shoes I've ever seen, but they are horrendous in terms of people thinking that leaving out some knitting makes it a new shoe or a better shoe or whatever. It literally is just like they didn't knit the stripe. And the fact that people think that's like some kind of innovative thing is beyond me. Like, all they did was not knit it right there. I don't get it. So to me, those shoes both suck. I bought both of them because I'm trying to make a little bit of money on the side for myself. And with the Clays, I made like $100 a pair. So I'm definitely not upset about that. But I don't think Kanye's behavior affected me in terms of like, would I not wear a Nike shoe because I still have worn the Adidas shoe.
Dave,
Yeah.
Did you see the question that a listener sent me about fakes?
Yeah, about would you knock an established sneakerhead if they bought fakes knowing they were fakes?
Yeah.
And rock.
So shout out to Key Rat Singh, for sending this. He basically, the question he had was like, are there like I took it as like, are there like established sneakerheads that could get a pass for buying fakes? I thought it was an interesting question. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I thought it was definitely an interesting question because we've talked about it on this show plenty of times about being a sneakerhead. Like, I'm sure, Dave, amongst your friends and your circle of people that you know, whether they're in the sneakers or not, you're known as the guy that's in the sneakers, right?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. Me growing up, I've always been the guy who had the sneakers all the time. Somebody at work is asking me, can you get my husband the bread 4s, cement 4s, whatever they are. Like, I've been always known that guy. Having a sneaker podcast is an incredible thing because George and I've talked about this before, George and I could get on this podcast and be literally straight lying. Like, we could be lying about every single thing we cop, every single thing we've owned, every single thing we've done. We could still be lying about that because we have established ourselves as solid sneakerheads in the community, growing up. So you really don't know what anybody has. Now, the dynamic is crazy because let's say if I walked in here, Yeezy 2 might be a little bit strong. If I walked in here with we keep saying Elephant Atmos. I don't know why that's on my mind today. If I walked in here wearing an Elephant Atmos, I don't think George would look at it and think that's got to be fake. I don't think he would because he I don't know, maybe knows me, but he.
Oh, I know what question you're talking about. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like, I don't think like for you, Dave, if you went and bought a fake one and it was that good, because I'm sorry, fakes and replicas are just that good nowadays. I went on the website just to look. You're talking about the jump man, his foot is too close to the leather. The stitching is backwards. Like, I'm like, man, who can never notice even that garbage? if you
Well, the other thing about it too is like those places may not be using the same exact materials that Nike is, but it's not that far off.
it's not that far off.
So like
this isn't like
if XYZ Factory, which is right next door to ABC Factory, their chances are they're using some of the same stuff. Now they may leave a piece out here and there or whatever. Like, you know, I've heard stories about Jordan 4 fake was missing like one of the Nike airbags or something, and the inside the shoe.
Right.
How would you even know? Unless you have both of them wearing both of them. You know what I mean?
right. And see, that's where it comes to the point of too, like this isn't like back in the day when you see a Jordan, you could be like, yo, that joint is fake. I couldn't tell.
Well, yeah, most of the fakes back in the day was like they tried to create a new shoe. It wasn't so much that they were faking the shoe that already existed. They were making like a hybrid shoe or whatever that didn't ever come out.
Even when they were trying to make like a Flu Game 12, they were trying to make it, the shape was crazy, the materials were weird, the Jumpman was weird, like stuff was weird on them. Now, I saw like a comparison of a fake and a real Cactus Jack 4. I couldn't even tell. They were at the minute, like this loop, the lace loops are lower on the fake. The netting is closer than the other. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? If I walked down the street wearing those, not a single person would say, fam, them is fakes. Look at the thread. The thread is too close to the lace holes. Not a single person. Now, would you, I'm asking you, Dave, on social media, okay, let's talk about Mike. You're close with Mike from the camp out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike has dope sneakers, has a lot of sneakers. He's an established collector. He is somebody I look close to him, has dope pictures. I like his stuff. Would never question him as a sneakerhead. Let's say that he was like, he bought a pair of Red October Yeezy 2s, posted them, and said, yo, these ain't real. These aren't authentic Yeezy 2s, but like I really love the model and I had to have them. You know, these are as close as possible. Would that be a problem to you? Take being a friend out of it. Would that be a problem to you?
If he's being upfront about it, I don't have a problem with it.
Even having a sneaker show.
I mean, I think you can wear whatever you want to wear as long as you're straight up and real about it. I think I would be more bothered if you're trying to pass it off as the real thing, and it's not. I mean, I think again, it goes back to, if you're really into the aesthetics of a sneaker and you're going to wear that sneaker and you like the sneaker, you like the look, it doesn't really matter whether it's real or fake, in the grander scheme of things. But if you're upfront about it, I think that says something totally different than if you're trying to hide it, because then you're just trying to fool the public. You just want to be something that you're not, right? And so, I have no problem with people being upfront, just like I have no problem with someone buying a pair of $35 Reeboks and posting pictures of them and being happy with them. It's essentially the same thing to me,
That's a little different. Like, if we started going on sites that had like the absolute best fakes and started buying all the ones that we just can't seem to win on sneakers, I think that would be, even if we like, hey man, I keep taking L's on sneakers. I didn't get any Cactus Jack 1s, 4s, whatever else he has. I had enough. I love the colorway. I love the model. These are the best ones. I went on here and bought fakes. I don't think they would be easily accepted, even if you admit it.
Maybe by other people, but I mean, I honestly don't care. I just, the thing to me is I feel like, in that situation, I'm not on the brand side, right? Like for me, like I'm just like, because I feel like, I've been screwed over enough times where I've thought about like quitting sneakers and thought about quitting, the whole game, and like I'm not buying shoes ever again, so I get it. And so, I'm not on the brand side, and I'm not like, I feel like they can do things so that everyone can have a pair. So when someone really likes something and, they can't get it, and they're willing to, buy something that's very, very similar in every single way, except for the fact that, it doesn't have some right. label on it, I'm okay with it. I understand. I get it. I'm not going to knock them for that as long as they're honest about it. Just don't try to come to me and like fake the funk and be like, hey, yo, these are dope, blah blah blah. I managed to get them. Like, nah. Like, if you're gonna be upfront about it, then it's your thing. Like, that's I can accept that. Because I think we've all sort of been there on some level.
Oh yeah, I think every single sneakerhead has considered buying fake Yeezy 2s. Like when I think all have. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even. It wouldn't.
I don't care if someone buys fakes. Just don't pretend they're real. Simple as that.
Exactly.
How do you not pretend they're real though? Like you say, like, yo, these are fakes, guys, but I love the silhouette. Like I don't understand what that means.
No. Well, number one, I don't have a problem with anyone saying anything. My problem is when we know and follow people who on social media post something just for IG and then sell it.
Oh, of course.
Immediately after that. Don't be that person. Yeah. All right. Don't be that person. And definitely don't put it up and pose next to it or do like put it next to the jelly if it's a black and red Jordan 11. Don't do stuff like that. Don't put it in the refrigerator if it's a grape 5 Jordan and then we find out it's fake. Don't do that.
But first of all, when you talk about pictures, let me explain something to you. That picture today, I don't know whose pick it was. That picture of the Union 1 with the Jumpman made out of bubble gum sticking to the street and the shoe might be the corniest sneaker picture I've seen in the last 5 years.
I can't say anything's the corniest because we've seen the gamut of things people do.
We have, but he had to make that Jumpman out of gum.
I mean, to me, it just looked like it was.
Look, he had to make
computer generated. I didn't even think he did that.
I think he made that out of gum. I think he stepped on that like a Jordan Jumpman press and stuck it to the shoe in the ground.
Anything's possible, but I've seen. It's hard for me to say one thing's worse than the other when I've seen all the stuff I've seen.
Anyways, I think I'd have a bigger, more issue with people trying to sell fakes. Pass them as real. That's more of an issue to me.
Yeah, but that's a different issue.
Right.
It's a bigger issue in reality, but it's a different issue than what you're talking about because you're just talking about like feigned anger.
Now, if you out here buying fake GRs, like if you can go buy a real pair of Air Max 1 anniversaries at the store and you out here buying a fake, that's weird to me. Okay.
I don't care about that. Again, I just care about stunt devils. Don't be a stunt devil if you know you got fakes.
They're all stunt devils. But let me tell you, there's a lot of people out here with these gigantic collections. They know they bought fakes and they acting like they real. And that's a fact. That's them smokescreen sneakerheads. Fact. Coverts.
All right.
So 100% of covert sneakerheads. Don't ignore my terminology, fam.
Yeah, right.
All right.
What else you got on the list? You getting to the NCAA tournament yet?
I don't know. You watch sports and stuff, right, Dave?
Yeah, a little bit.
We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. It's over with. Just talk
Sometimes
about
you never
it.
know. Actually, well, I don't got nothing to say about NCAA tournament. I don't care. So.
I mean,
It's over.
I get to brag about the fact that I had the two teams in the championship game correct, and you didn't.
Oh,
so,
go ahead, man.
Yeah.
I'm just happy Duke didn't win.
You say what?
I'm just happy Duke didn't win.
Oh my gosh, come on, man.
I think that's how everybody feels. Everybody likes Zion, but doesn't like Duke. I mean, I don't think that's
I feel like everyone loves
weird.
Duke now. Like,
No.
and now he's gone. They hate Duke again. Like,
yeah, people didn't like Duke. They like Zion.
people got on TV and was
You know
like,
how much they hate Barrett and Reddish?
"Oh no." Look, the game was good. That's all you can ask for. The game that's good.
The whole tournament after like the second round was good because we didn't have like. This is the thing I've been talking about with people. And it's a little bit different for me, at least from Greg, because I go to Vegas for the first 2 rounds every year. So you see things differently in the sports book in Vegas than you do just watching them, even in here in a bar. Completely different. So everyone loves rooting for the underdogs to win the first weekend or the first round, second round, or whatever, make the Sweet 16. But what that does is for the most part, this is not 100%, but for the most part, it waters down the games when you get that far because you're probably going to end up with a 1 seed versus that 12 seed or whatever at some point instead of a 1 versus a 2 or a 1 versus a 3. And what we got from the Sweet 16 on was nothing pretty much but high seeds. And, you can certainly make the argument that Auburn was a 5 or whatever, but Auburn was a top 6 team coming into the season, preseason. They were ranked in the top 6. Same thing. Now, Texas Tech probably wasn't. Texas Tech probably was like inside the top 25 or maybe slightly outside or whatever. But what you ended up with was matchups 1 versus 2, 2 versus 3, 1 versus 4, 1 versus 3. So I think that's why the tournament was as good as it was from the Sweet 16 on, where every game, like at some point in that game, I told you I didn't watch it, but Texas Tech and Virginia, I went into the store, Virginia was up 8, and then I heard they were up 10, and then when I came out, it was tied. It's crazy tournament.
Why didn't you watch the championship game?
I was at the gym.
I don't think I could watch that much college basketball in that period of time, and then for the actual result, the thing that matters, be like, no, I'm good. Like,
I've been to one. It's fine.
I think March Madness might be probably the single greatest thing in sports.
The two greatest sporting events, like not just a one game thing, but the two greatest sporting events is the World Cup and NCAA tournament.
And I think the NCAA tournament is one of those things that loses a lot of steam when you get to a certain point. Like,
normally it does, but those games were all fantastic.
They were all pretty good games.
Now, you probably didn't have your same casual fans who watched the first 2 rounds because the Cinderellas didn't win this year. But that's better for me.
I forgot the game was Monday until someone texted me like, "Yo, were you watching the game?" I was like, "What? What?"
Monday.
I know. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care. And I'm glad the game was good, but I had stopped caring. I didn't watch it. I watched a little bit of the Elite 8. Like, I didn't care anymore. Like, for some odd reason, I just lost the momentum. That first, you're fired up, and then after a while, I'm like, like, we'll see what happens. Check the score, see what happens. Watch some highlights, see what happens. But it was overall
probably
good.
Normal. I mean.
It was overall good. My concern is, do I care about college basketball next season when it starts? That's my concern. I want to care about it. If I don't have anybody,
I mean, there's not a Zion, but there's
I want to care about.
There's
it.
probably more depth overall in the class.
Any thoughts on Magic Johnson?
I don't care. I mean, he's been a bad person. He's known as not knowing anything about personnel. So,
come on, man.
What do you mean?
How come you don't blame LeBron for any of this?
Did you not see any of the information that came out like in the last couple of months prior to like this year LeBron thing?
Like what?
Magic had a chance to get, I forgot what the story was exactly, but he had a chance to get 2 really good players, and instead he wanted Lance Stevenson and JaVale McGee. 2 people who've proven not to be good NBA players based on... Okay, this is the thing that I actually wanted to talk about in this episode because I know you don't subscribe to it as much. Every good team in the NBA right now is a statistic-based team. The only...
Oh, don't do that. I subscribe to statistics.
The Houston... I'm not talking about simple statistics. I'm talking about advanced statistics. The Houston Rockets are built literally by a guy who is considered a nerd by the majority of the league when he came in. I mean, I don't know if he has a degree from MIT or whatever, but Daryl Morey started the big statistics conference that happens every year. I don't even remember the name of it. But I think they said the first year they had like 600 people, and this last year they had like 10,000 or 8,000 or something. And the people they get to come speak at it. So in the NBA, everything is trending in that direction. So, like, when you Magic Johnson's, like, it's like listening to Barkley and these guys talk not only about college basketball during the tournament, but, you know, inside the NBA or whatever it is. These guys are old school guys who believe in shooting long 2-pointers and don't shoot a lot of threes and things that are inefficient for the game.
Okay.
And the NBA teams that are the best now, what do? They get layups and threes, and that's it. That's all they do, and they play defense.
All right. Magic.
Yes, again, he's not a personnel. He knows nothing about how to build an NBA team in 2019.
Okay, that example, first of all, of Morey with the Rockets is like, because they got a person that on there scores about 70 points by himself. Nobody else does anything else.
They traded for him.
Okay. Yes, they traded from about 7 years ago.
Daryl Morey was there. He's been there 10 years probably.
That's perfectly fine. His statistics didn't add up to this guy's going to score 50 points a game and would just eke out wins. That didn't do that.
He built the team the way he built the team.
Last year, that team was phenomenal. This year, this team was whack, okay? Starting the team out, they were garbage.
They're number 2 in the West.
They went and got Carmelo. No. They turned it up. They got better, but they were awful at first. And even right now, they're still barely winning games. They go out there and score 60 points and won by 4. Like,
okay.
Anyways, back to Magic.
And the Warriors and Milwaukee and every other team that's building rosters based on statistics, they're trash too, or?
I didn't say they were trash. I'm just saying that
Magic Johnson is not a 2019. He's not a personnel person, period.
Okay.
He should not be making any decisions that have to do with personnel. This is not 1984 basketball. If you're playing 1984 basketball, then and absolutely Magic Johnson's your guy. You're playing 2019. I'm sorry. I want someone with an advanced degree from MIT who's a nerd and can tell me which guys to build my team
That's
around.
fine. Magic Johnson is more important to the Lakers organization than LeBron James is. LeBron James has a hand.
But it has nothing to do with that.
What? Him leaving the Lakers don't have LeBron leaving? Man, you're crazy.
I don't think so.
You stop it. Like, there's two things that happened wrong in this Magic Johnson thing. Magic Johnson, the way he left, a little weird. But you know what? Players get to decide when they don't want to play no more, and when they want to quit, and when they want to be traded. So you know what? Magic Johnson getting on TV saying, you know what? I'm stepping down now. He didn't talk to the boss. He didn't talk to Jeannie. He didn't talk to anybody. Good for him. You know what? I'm done with this. This is trash. There's a bigger issues behind the scene that he doesn't like. There's too much pressure to make sure LeBron is comfortable and happy. That's a 100% fact.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
Well,
so
LeBron is only comfortable and happy if they're in the playoffs, and he's the first. Essentially the first GM to not have LeBron in the playoffs in 16, 17 years. So yeah, of course LeBron's not happy, and yeah, I guess that is going to fall on Magic somewhat, especially because we know that LeBron is trying to make moves and trying to get another superstar there, and I don't think Magic was doing enough to make it happen.
he's trying to get rid of the coaches. He's trying to do all that stuff. LeBron has had 8 coaches. You know what? Like, and this is a shout out to the homie Mike from the Don't Kill the Messenger podcast. We were talking to him, and I was talking to him, and he was like,
Oh, here's the story.
talking
right
about
here.
like Spoelstra, Spoelstra and Pat Riley.
Here's the story right here.
Pat Riley.
This has nothing to do with LeBron, by the way. Hold on. Before you say that, let me read this headline. This was reported on pretty much every sports website. Lakers coaching staff pleaded with Magic Johnson to re-sign Brooke Lopez and Julius Randle, per report. And instead, he signed Lance Stevenson and JaVale McGee. Right there, this has nothing to do with LeBron. Maybe LeBron wanted McGee and Lance instead. Who knows? That right there is a failure of management in general, and this is part of the reason why Magic is gone as well.
No.
Yes, it is.
No. Your point is right. He might be trash at the job, but he didn't get fired, so it doesn't matter.
No, I understand that, but
So if he got
if
fired,
there's internal conversations about, hey, you got to turn around, you're gone, and he doesn't want the pressure.
there wasn't none of the conversations.
How do you know? We don't know.
That's what it's from what it seems like.
We have no idea.
Okay, from what it sounds like, everyone was like, "What the heck?" It didn't sound like that was the rumbling. All right, from what it
Well,
seems
of course
like.
they're going to try to save face. I mean, no one wants to be responsible for firing Magic Johnson. Listen, Magic Johnson should be with the Lakers what he is with the Dodgers. All he is the guy smiling in the front who does the recruiting on social media and handshakes in the back room, and then let the smart people figure out who really should be on the roster.
LeBron puts too much pressure on everybody in an organization, period. The only person he couldn't apply pressure to, which Mike from the Don't Kill the Messenger podcast reminded me, was he never put pressure. He couldn't pressure Riley in Miami. Spoelstra is still coaching and a great coach. He wanted to get rid of Spoelstra.
Well, okay, hold on.
He wanted
if
to
you
get rid
think he can't pressure Riley, why would you think he could pressure Magic? Why would Magic be more of a pushover than Pat Riley? I don't.
That's my question.
They
No.
come from like the same sports DNA.
You're right. I wish Magic would be like, man, just sit down and shut up. I wish Magic was like that. He got sick of it. I think Magic legitimately got sick of it and was like, I'm out of here. This is some weird
That's
stuff.
probably part of it.
Now, his interview where he was like talking about, he minimized Jeannie Buss's importance by saying, yeah, you know what, if I would have told her, she would have started crying and she would have begged me to stay and I would have stayed. He minimized her as a woman and as a position of power in that organization. That was trash.
I didn't even see what that
didn't
was,
like that. I saw he interviewed with Rachel Nichols. I didn't like that.
I don't know about that. I felt like he was just saying. I think Magic is an emotional guy, and he tends to make moves based on emotion, which I think is what George is kind of alluding to. Is that he's trying to make people. He's trying to pull people in that have an emotional connection, to the court and everything. And I think ultimately he didn't want to be put in a position where he was making a decision based on emotion and trying to, placate the Lakers based on emotion rather than doing what was best for himself and probably for the Lakers ultimately. And I think he looked over and saw what happened to Phil Jackson in New York and was just like, yeah, I probably should step down before I get in over my head and people start blaming me for the reason why the Lakers aren't winning championships again.
Lakers, look, Magic got sick of it. I'm sorry, I love LeBron James, but it's annoying. He's ruining the Lakers to me.
You don't listen when I try to tell you stuff. I tried to tell you probably a year ago that he was corny, and you don't want to hear it. Actually, maybe 2 years ago.
You describing he was corny and talking about like all this other two completely different things. Yes, he's corny. All right.
But that's part of the reason why you're angry with him.
I'm angry because it's like, yo, what's happening there? Like, I hate seeing that. LA is one of the teams I love. Like, it's just a weird situation there. And he's goofy.
And I have no idea why you wore that hat today because you don't like the Lakers. So
I'm telling you, I root for the Lakers. What are you talking? Yes, I do. I don't have an NBA team.
Exactly. So you don't root for the Lakers.
I root for the Lakers. I root for the Suns. I root for a lot of teams. I like players. I love the Lakers. What are you talking about?
You don't love the Lakers. If you love the Lakers, you'd root for the Lakers.
I root for the Lakers.
You just got done saying you don't have an NBA team, which I already know.
And I said I root for the Lakers. I root for the Suns. I root for players. I root for everything.
So then you can't say I love that team. It's not your team.
I love them all. Anyways.
You ain't making no sense.
Top 10. We're going to do top 10 now.
Hold on a second.
Because the other podcast is like literally about to come in here soon.
All right. We got 18 minutes. You can relax. I got a question for Dave, actually. Are you in New Haven right now? Like, is that where you're living? Unrelated to shoes.
I live like 20 minutes outside of New Haven.
Okay, gotcha. Because I've been there once and I didn't get a chance to eat any of the pizza there, and I heard a lot of people talking about pizza capital of the world. I just want you to expound on that a little bit. Not a pizza guy?
Well, I do. I love pizza, right? So when I went to college, I went to college in Romania, and people swore that like Papa John's was like amazing, and to me it was like trash. It was like the worst pizza I've ever had in my life. Yeah, like I think Connecticut in general, we're often underestimated for our pizza, and New Yorkers always say that they have better pizza, but I really don't think that the border really can define that for you. New Haven does have amazing pizza. It's really just about what you like and what you want. Like me personally, I love Bar. Bar is one of the best pizzas I think that I've ever had. And they actually do a mashed potato pizza, which sounds crazy, but it's like delicious. It's amazing. And then people swear by Frank Pepe's and Sally's.
Yeah, Sally's.
But yeah, New Haven, I think we have probably the best pizza that I've had anywhere.
I don't think New York has good pizza. So
oh, yeah, you wild.
New York pizza.
You haven't gone to the right spots.
I've probably eaten all the years. New York pizza is pizza. The only the awesome thing about New York pizza is that it's cheap and that you can get it from sun up to sundown. Like you can get it from everywhere.
If you're going to the cheap places, you're not getting.
Oh, sorry, I'm not going to the pizza place where you gotta use a knife and fork. To me,
no, that's not what I'm talking about either.
Pizza and in New York all taste the same. Every spot, I'm like, yo, this tastes just like that one. That tastes just like that one. Anyways. I don't know nothing about Connecticut except the Leaves, ESPN, the Huskies, and Dave Blackmon. That's all I know. That's the only thing I know in Connecticut.
We got Yale too.
And Yale, that's it.
And Aaron Hernandez.
I don't know nothing about him. I don't subscribe to his work.
He's from Connecticut. So
you don't subscribe to his work. I don't subscribe to his work.
All right.
Top 10 worst / lackluster collaborations to us. All right, George, you already said your list is trash.
Supreme trash. Because the shoes on it are trash. But
okay. Not necessarily. Dave.
Oh, they're trash.
You made your list, Dave?
Yeah, I did.
I
don't know if you want me to.
Who wants to go first? George, you want to go or Dave?
Normally the guest goes first, but if you don't want to go first, let us know.
I will go. I'll go first.
All right, let's go. Let's start with your bottom 5.
Wait, I have some honorable mentions.
Knock them out.
Do it.
Okay, so honorable mention is the Atmos and Jordan Brand Safari 3.
Oh, okay.
I
forgot all about that.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I like it. I didn't hate it, but at the same time, I felt like if they were going to do like a legitimate collaboration, then they could have did better than that. And then and then the Instapump Fury and basically anybody.
Wait, what?
I like it.
Wait, what?
Because I have one on my list: the Reebok Instapump Fury and basically any collab.
I have something like that.
I mean, nobody did a good Instapump Fury collab in my opinion.
That's not true.
I think I know what the worst one is, but that's just personal.
No, there's one that's ultimate fire. And that's the one that Concepts did that looks like Versace.
Nope.
That joint is flawless, Victor.
I knew you were going to say that because you're a thought, and it's on my list. It is one of the worst shoes of all time. Sorry, Dion.
You smoking sticks, worst shoes of all time.
You making a shoe with Reebok and Concepts and you calling it Versace, you need to throw yourself off a building.
First of all, the Sneakerheads called it Versace. They didn't call it Versace. And it was a Swiss Beats thing, I think.
Doesn't matter. That makes it even worse.
Man.
Like Swiss Beats knows anything about fashion?
You will do anything to hate on Reebok. You know that? You'll do anything to hate on Reebok. You'll find time out of your day to send me something that you hate about Reebok.
It's not true.
It is true.
If it was true, I would send you something every day.
You hate on Reebok.
You right, but I don't go out of my way to do it because I would do it every day.
Dave, number 10.
That shoe is horrendous trash.
All right. Well, trash these. Number 10, Dave.
Number 10 is DJ Khaled and Jordan Brand, The Grateful.
Those do suck.
Anything DJ Khaled sucks. Pause.
Number 9, and I was kind of conflicted about this because I feel like some of the shoes, and this is like a full collection, some of the shoes were sort of salvageable, but ultimately it was just, it didn't hit the mark for me, was the Adidas and Dragon Ball.
I knew you were going to say that. All of them sucked.
There were a few in there, like the ZX model.
Stop it.
It was okay.
People love trying to salvage that ZX model out of the Dragon Ball Z pack.
I think that green, whatever the green one was the best one.
People love trying to pick out one.
Yeah.
What you got for 8?
All right. Number 8, and I hate this shoe, and I don't know why people like it, and it shows up in my timeline, and I don't know. I'm sorry to people, but the Supreme and Nike up tempo. I can't.
The what?
Shoe.
The what?
You there?
The Supreme and Nike. The up tempo that they did.
I mean,
maybe my list ain't that trash after all.
On the side instead of,
oh yeah, they sucked.
yeah. I can't. Number 7 was Balenciaga and Crocs foam.
I've never even seen that. I believe you.
Anything with Crocs is trash, but yeah.
Anything with Balenciaga is trash too. I believe you.
Right, relax. You wanted
It's
arenas forever.
It's like a lifted Croc. It has like an extra thick sole on the bottom.
Balenciaga arena, man.
Yeah.
Anything with Crocs is trash. And I mean, if you work for Crocs, not you specifically, but if our listeners work for Crocs or they're a chef or something and you got to wear Crocs to work, sorry, but they suck.
Yeah. Number 6 was CDG and Nike Air Force One, the dinosaur one.
I don't even know
Dinosaur one.
looks like.
What's that look like?
The one big plastic molded dinosaur on the front of the Air Force One.
What? I haven't seen that. And I can't remember it. Anyway.
Just Google CDG and Nike Air Force One dinosaur.
Those joints probably so they sound trash. So that was your bottom 5?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, those should definitely be on the list. I've never even seen these before.
Let me see.
Oh, you know what? All right, I'm going to go next because my list is trash. And I just remembered something right now. I'm going to mention something that hasn't been mentioned yet.
Go ahead.
Jeremy Scott Adidas anything.
Oh, yeah, that all sucked.
Anything.
Oh, that's in my bottom 5.
All right, mine are not in order, but I'm going to try my best to put them in order. I'm just going to name off 5 that are trash. Since Supreme Nike Air More Up Tempo has already been mentioned, we'll put that one down there. Most of my stuff's recent, by the way, because I didn't go too far back. Work computer was not working today, so I had no chance to do research. But this is a brand new one. Atmos Nike Air Max Light 2.
I thought
those suck ball sacks. It's patent too.
It's not just plastic. It's like a clear plastic thing that goes on top of the logos.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh God, suck.
And those do suck. I thought about putting that on my list, but yeah, those suck.
Okay, Concepts, Reebok, Instapump Fury, Versace. We already talked about that. The one that probably should be number one on my list, but I'm going to say it right now: the Supreme Nike Air Force One NBA, either colorway.
I almost put those
yeah.
on my list.
What?
They suck, but there's a lot with that worse than that.
Bruh,
What else?
those suck. Those are like when someone wears a black Air Force One and they make the jokes about when you see someone with a black Air Force One run away because they going to do dirt or whatever, and then they like the meme with LeBron with the wave cap and the cigarette.
I mean, they suck, but they not.
Those black highs are awful.
Not top 10 material.
Yes, they are.
Nah.
Kith, Nike, Pippen, Pack, except the purple one. Pretty much
Come
everything.
on, George.
They made of animal print Pippen 2 or whatever.
That joint is fire. It's just boot. What are you talking about? Your list is trash.
That animal shoe is fire. Are you being serious?
I am 100% serious. What are you talking about? I mean, it's not like extreme fire, but it's not top 10 worst of all
You're
time.
walking back your comment already.
What are you talking about? Man, go, man.
You just said the elephant shoe or the animal shoe is fire.
It's not like I gotta have it, but it doesn't suck.
Oh no, it's trash.
All right.
Horrendous trash. Nike Fear of God, pretty much the entire pack is garbage.
Oh, come on,
Raid,
George.
The Raid one is, if you want me to pick one, I'll pick the Raid. The entire pack is awful. I don't know. Do you think it's nice?
I like them. I want them. I'm not paying for them or getting them. George, what are you talking about? Your list is whack. That's the best you got.
You're literally in here fighting for boots that are the tackiest shoes I've ever seen in my entire life, and you think my list is bad?
All right. You done?
Are you done being tacky?
All right. You done?
Are you done being tacky?
Is it my turn?
Well, let's see how untacky your list is.
Number 10. This is wackest / lackluster.
Yes, that's fine.
These, I don't think they're whack, but they're definitely lackluster. Like, I was like, that's it?
What's the
Air Max, number 10, Air Max 97 Undefeateds. Just the undefeated words in the stripe.
Okay, yeah, your list is already.
Those are cool.
I tried to tell you the green ones are trash, and you wanted to throw me out of this room.
I like the green ones, but the
Okay,
shoe is
well,
lackluster.
your list is trash.
It's lackluster. It's one solid
Of course
color.
it is. It sucks.
And Adidas and undefeated wrapped around the top.
Yes, it sucks.
Number 10.
I'm aware. I told you.
Number
It's like a
9,
bingo.
Diamond Supply, ASIC Gel Light 5s, and Gel Sagas. That was.
Oh yeah, you won.
That was
fam.
super trash.
It's a Kith collab. Number 1. You didn't even say Kith.
Excuse me. Diamond Supply / Kith / ASIC Gel Light 5.
Your list is
sucks.
Your list is already.
Those are whack.
Throw it out the window.
All right, those are whack. Number 8, Jordan 6 Social Status. Those are already that bad.
Yep.
That's how bad those are.
You finally have one,
hairy
fam.
6. All right, one of the
Should've
worst
put that
ones.
on my list.
like those.
Number 7, all Young One collaborations. Every single one sucks.
Soulbox is one of the best shoes that released in 2018.
Those suck too. Period. One of the best shoes that released in 2018? What are you talking about? Chill out. You wildin'. One of the best. That Soulbox is an utter disaster. All right, period. And all the collabs are trash. 100% fact. Number 6, Kendrick Lamar and Nike Cortez.
This is utter
models.
trash?
Get that out of here.
Man.
Tight. Nike Cortez and Kendrick Lamar, every single one. First of all, when you've heard Kendrick Lamar and Cortez, I'm thinking like, yeah, fam, let's do it. Every single one is trash. That to me is a disaster of a sneaker collection or line or whatever.
I'm not even listening.
Period.
Look at this. Pull the mic out. Because I'm not even listening to you no more.
So Kendrick Lamar, Cortez.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you talking about these soul boxes are trash. You're an insane person.
Cool. Dave, what's your top 5?
Top 5. I feel like this should be higher, but I have it at 5. The ASAP Rocky and Under Armour.
Oh, how did I not put that on my list?
They don't suck.
The Osiris.
Oh yeah. Oh no, you're right. You're right. My bad. You back. I was thinking of the one that everyone thought was the ASAP model. No, you're right. That one sucks. That one absolutely sucks. That definitely should be in the top 10.
Put you on a stretcher, no?
Yeah. Number 4, and I count this as a collab. Adidas, the Adidas Kobe 2.
The what?
I guess I don't know enough about that shoe.
Adidas Kobe
It
too.
looked like a spaceship. It was like one piece. And
You
it had,
consider
like,
that a
no
collaboration? He was a signed athlete.
Yeah. I mean, we count everybody else. Like, we count,
I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm saying Kendrick, because I guess, but those are rappers. Anyways, what's the next one?
4, 3, Supreme, Nike, Flyknit, Lunar 1.
Supreme Nike.
They did a Lunar 1, a Flyknit Lunar 1, and it just said Supreme. Like,
Oh my gosh. Okay, Dave, now you smoking. You wilding right now. That to me might be one of the best Supreme shoes of all time. All right.
Stop.
If you had to do a top 5 all Supreme collaboration sneakers, it would have all the dunks in it, the trainers, and it would have that Flyknit runner in it. 100% facts. You're talking about the Lunar, the black one that has Supreme on it? Oh my goodness. You smoking,
Black
Dave.
and it says Supreme in little tiny letters? No. That's lackluster.
Oh my gosh. What else you
Very
got?
lack.
He's talking about this one. This joint is going for $1,000.
Yeah, I know what shoe it is.
This joint is extreme fire. All right.
Okay, that's a little harsh.
Extreme.
Okay, that you're overboard with the.
What you got, Dave? Are you at number 1 right now?
2.
Number 2, what you got?
Number 2 is Jeremy Scott and Adidas, the tiger or the teddy bear. Like, either one. They're both
All of them
both
suck.
have like furry
Those are facts.
and have tails on them.
George had the boned ones.
Big facts. I had more than that. I had the panda one too.
Well,
I mean, not to wear, but
When you used to wear those pandas, I used to be so embarrassed.
Right? Yes, I wore them.
I was embarrassed.
Tried to sell them joints for like 2 years. DS. Someone finally bought them.
Authentic pigeon pandas. What you got for number 1?
Number 1 is a deep throwback. It's the Dada Supreme and Latrell Sprewell.
All right. You went all the way back to them spinning wheel shoes.
I still remember them.
Oh my God.
Going up to high school in those.
George, what you got number 5?
Let's see. What did I not say? Kith Nike LeBron Lifestyle, the black one with the like strap that went like an X or figure 8 or whatever on the shoe, and it had like the Gucci print or whatever on the side or Versace print. The boot one, not the other one with the
They
zip.
all honestly
They're
suck.
trash.
They suck. But on top 10?
No, I told you I didn't put them in order.
Oh,
I'm just
fine.
picking stuff off of here. Oh, yeah, it's still in the top 10, but my list is not in order. I know you better have this one on there. Off-White Nike Zoom Fly Mercurial.
Oh, I don't have that one, but that one does suck.
Yes, either color. The orange one's way worse.
But I don't think it's top 10.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Well, you're definitely going to disagree with this one, but this one should be on there too. Soulfly Nike Jordan 1, Art Basel, the patent leather one.
I don't
Awful.
disagree with that.
Awful. Now, maybe it shouldn't be top 10, but again, I had struggles doing my list. Awful shoe.
Okay. You're going to really hate one of mine then.
I don't know where I'm at here, but the only one I see left is Off-White Nike Air Jordan 1 UNC.
One of the worst sneakers of all time. Like, that should definitely be on the list. One of the trashiest materials. I'm sorry, period. Awful, okay? That's a 100% fact. My number 5. Every single thing OVO Jordan brand was absolute trash. 8, 10, and
Trying to think if they did anything besides Jordan, but I guess they were all Jordans.
8, 10, and 12. You probably picked the 3 wackest Jordans out of the entire collection, and they all suck.
Assigned them.
If you can make black and gold, whatever. If you can make black and gold and white and gold trash, like awful. That's number 5. Number 4, Panda Pigeon SBs. People have been clamoring for another pigeon collaboration.
bad. I don't know if it's
retro
top
and stuff.
5.
Lackluster
It's
is
bad.
lackluster. It was like, this is what we got. This is it. Like, this is what we waited for about 15 years. This is what you gave us.
All right, so you're just saying because it's a
Love
pigeon,
that
the
shoe.
pigeon shoe.
People
The
love
pigeon
that
panda and the all black.
Nah, the all black one's nice.
Oh no, the all black one is nice compared to when we saw pigeon panda.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right.
But it's like, yo, this is it. We've been waiting for a pigeon for 15, 20 years almost, it feels like, and you give us an all black one. Thank you very much, Jeff Staple. Number 3, Jordan 1 fragments.
Nah.
They don't suck, but There is no reason a Jordan 1 fragment should be going for like thousands or 2,000 for 2 lightning bolts in the back.
You right. Listen, you're right about that part, but the original Jordan 1 OGs are all simple color block. That was the whole point.
Cool. All right, that's cool, but it's still like, huh?
At least they didn't do patent leather or something.
Okay. Number 2. The 2019 Air Max winners, every single one is an abomination. I wouldn't have had it on my list,
We'll
but you
find
know
out
why?
when it comes in the mail,
You know why it's on my list? Is because the Weatherspoon was so fire that this is embarrassing. I was like, yo. Now,
We'll see when it
this
comes
was
in the
embarrassing,
mail.
but I do say to myself, I said, you know what? It's a lot harder creating a sneaker than I thought it was. Because obviously they thought they had something dope and it's trash. Number one is the Kendrick Lamar and Reebok.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the slip-on.
No, I already said that already. The Kendrick Lamar and Reebok, when they had their little collaboration, when Kendrick was like on fire, he's still on fire now. But they just gave him an old school.
Someone when he did like one crib
and one was like,
blood
one was a crib and one blood. That's the best that you got.
That's not number one.
That's number one.
No,
it's utter trash. All right.
The Nike one with no laces is worse than that.
Oh, it's on my list.
I know, but that's number one. That ain't number one.
But it's a Cortez though. It's different. That mattress Cortez one, that's also trash.
There's people who will stand for the Reebok Classic just like the Reebok, like the Nike Cortez.
Yeah, some cuz and some blood.
No, I don't mean the Kendrick one. I'm saying you're saying it's fine because it's a Cortez, but someone else will come in here and say it's fine because it's a Reebok Classic.
Reebok embarrassed himself. Reebok, that's in a prime example of why you never signed with Reebok to do a collaboration or anything. That should have been what Beyonce said. Beyonce should have walked in the meeting and said, nah, y'all did what's the name, trash and dirty. So anyways,
Dave, any last words? We got to run. There's a podcast coming in after us here.
No, thanks for having me. Definitely great being on and talking to you guys.
Sounds good.
You got social media? I'm going to tell folks your IG.
Just Dave 3_2. Follow my brand, the One Ivy brand at that's it. The One Ivy brand.
Sounds good. Is Ivy Brand on Twitter too?
Ivy Brand is on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I think I follow on Twitter. All right, sounds good, Dave. I appreciate you coming on. It's always good talking to you in messages and whatever.
Thanks, man.
So we appreciate you.
Yep.
All right.
No problem.
All right. Later, man.
George, anything else?
Of course not.
All
Time
right.
to go.
Let's think this. Bye.